Guys, Faxi Nadu here. We're going to take a look right now at the Waldorf Rocket. Wouldn't say it's exactly a new line from Waldorf, but it's kind of a departure from what they've been doing in the past. It's going back to analog, but using digital control via USB. And basically what this synth aims to give you is a sort of 303 type clone. Let's not call it exactly a 303 clone, but more of a, let's say, an acid synth with a little touches of added extras like paraphony and sort of a unison type of thing, and packaged in a modern way, and also in an affordable way, and something that is small and easily moved around. So again, like we said, it's an acid synth at the core of it. It's really, let's take a look first at the build. So you see it's really rugged. It's a really well built box. The knobs themselves are really also well built, and they sit really well in the sockets, and everything is really built well. And if you look at the back, it has both old school MIDI as well as USB. The cool thing is that the power is also via USB, so you don't need to also attach it to a power supply. It has both an audio out and headphones output, and it has an input to modulate the VCF via control voltage, which is pretty cool, I guess. So it kind of can act in various types of modes if you use old school MIDI or MIDI over USB. Another thing, this thing does have an editor. But the editor, it's kind of, to me, it's really a shame and almost stupid that they did it this way. The editor is only for iPad. It's not even for iPhone, and it's not for Android. It's just for iPad. So it's kind of a shame, you know. You go and you buy this product and like, hey, that's pretty cool. It even has an editor, and then it's like, whoa, it's only for iPad. What the heck, you know? They could have at least made it for PC. I have no idea why it's just for iPad. It's kind of weird. But that's what they chose to do, and whatever. So what you basically get here is a one OSC synth with cutoff, resonance, and envelope mod controls for the filter, as well as 3 filter types: low pass, band pass, high pass, and key tracking option for 0, 50%, 100%. We'll get to the envelope in a second. I want to talk first about the LFO, which can act either as an LFO or as an arpeggiator. So if it can be, well, it's so soft. Okay, let's play it. Give it some volume. 1 second. So the LFO on the OSC. Filter. There we go. And arpeggiator. And you won't really get an arpeggiator to sound well with this sound that I've got going, because it's really just short decay stabs. So this is what you have for the LFO. Now I do want to talk about the envelope, which to me is kind of a shame. What you see here, you don't really have controls, standard controls for the envelope. You have, the one standard control you have is decay. But then you have a on-off switch for the release and an on-off switch for the sustain. Now I do not mind it so much on the sustain and the release, but notice what is missing. There is no attack, no knob, and no button, and nothing to control the attack. And the way this synth is hardwired inside, the attack is really punchy. It's almost impossible not to get this synth to click, which to me is a real shame. I really don't understand this. Let's say they didn't want to have a knob for the attack. At the very least, they should have had one of these triggers where you'd have, let's say, one mode which would be punch, which would be like it is right now, and then at least have another mode, call it slew or whatever you want to call it, and and just a little bit soften the attack by a few milliseconds, just so you can get non-clicky sounds. And it's a real shame, but that's what they decided to do. And so it's a really punchy synth. If that's your thing, then yeah, that attack is all the way closed and it punches right away. So one last thing that you do have here, okay, on the bottom section is the boost, which basically gives you a sort of distortion, overdrive type thing. So let's say this is the sound without, and this is with the boost, and you'll hear the boost with high resonance. As opposed to no boost and yes boost. So it can really sort of make it scream. One more thing is, if you look at the waves, the oscillator section, basically, you have a saw and then you have a square, and you kind of have these weird modes of the way they operate, which go from, depending on which oscillator you have. Like for the square you'd have pulse width, and for the saw you'd have this other weird little thing. Let's fix this for a minute. Let's say you got this. So it's sort of a unison effect, which is kind of nice. You have glide as well. And then this is a square. So it's possible to get a nice palette out of this, but you have to keep in mind that it is limited to what it is. Of course, it's just an OSC, a filter, and an LFO. But the sound, the core sound, is good. Really fat OSC and a screaming filter. To me, the biggest shame is that you don't have more envelope control. I think it would be would give the synth a lot more if it had a little bit more of the envelope control. And if the editor was at least for PC, you know, it's 2014 right now. It's almost 2015. Why are they making the editor just for one platform? Beats me, really beats me. But let's just, for final words, it's a great machine to gig with, because it'll really easily fit in your backpack. It's not heavy and it's not big, but it is hefty and rugged, like we said in the beginning. And the USB, again, is a big advantage. One thing about the USB is that we have noticed a few dropouts here and there. Let's say we have a track loaded and we're playing it, and we finish performing that track and we load another track, and suddenly the Rocket doesn't work. And what you have to do is you have to close the program, take out the USB and put in the USB again, and load the program again. Now I don't know if that has to do with our specific setup, or it is a bug on the Waldorf itself, but just from our experience, it's not the most stable thing. The USB is not the most stable thing in the world. So just to keep that in mind, it does work though. Overall, we got it for second-hand for a cheap price. For that price, which was less than half price than what they go for new, I think it's totally worth it. Whether it's worth to buy one new from the shop, that's totally up to you. If it fits your needs, then go for it. But if you do not have a specific need for like such a performance synth to take outside and whatever, all the pluses that it gives, if you don't have a specific need for it, go for something else in this price range and in this functionality. That's just my opinion. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Again, watch all our other videos. We have a lot of cool stuff on our YouTube channel. See you later. Bye bye.